Greetings, students! It's time for us to start our keywords and concepts in our exciting textbook. I know you're all just raring to go. Yay, textbook. All right. So I've broken this down into some little chunks so you have little videos to watch instead of really long videos to watch, highlighting the important keywords and concepts from our reading. So from chapter 1, section 1, we have these keywords and concepts. First one, you should probably be able to define sociology. So what is sociology? It's the scientific and systemic study of groups and group interactions, societies and social interactions, from small and personal groups to very large groups. I know this sounds like a very large definition that encompasses a great deal. That's because it does. Sociology really does study the length and breadth of humanity. Pretty much anything humans do, there's some sociologist somewhere studying it. So it's a very broad and inclusive definition. We'll get into more specific types of sociology as we move forward, but that's the overall definition that we should know. Our next two concepts are the idea of macro level and micro level. So we'll be talking about this a lot throughout the semester. So when we're talking about macro level, we're talking about something that has a wide scale view of the role of social structures within a society. So what would be an example of something that's like macro level? Macro level would be something like looking at every single man in America over the age of 30. Right? That's going to be a lot of people. That's going to be a huge group. You can also look at things like how big groups such as religion, such as people who identify as Roman Catholic, that would be considered a macro level group, very, very big, right? So we're talking about the big stuff, things that encompass lots of things. That's in opposition to the micro level. That's the study of specific relationships between individuals or small groups. So when we're talking micro level, we mean a much more manageable group of people. So say you wanted to conduct a micro level study here at Central Penn. So you could do, say, a study of the viewership habits of Central Penn students of Rick and Morty. Great show. That would be a really tiny group of people, right? You have to have people who are at Central Penn, people who watch Rick and Morty. That's going to be a really tiny group of people. Micro level could even be the interactions between two people, or one person and society at large. So that's going to be a much smaller thing. So macro versus micro. And then finally, from this section, we have the sociological imagination, which we read about last week from C. Wright Mills. But explained a little better here, a little more clear in the textbook. And that's how an individual's understanding of their own and other pasts affects, in relation to history and social structure. So how a person understands where they fit, who they are within the wider network of the social structure in history. So where do I fit in this breadth and length of humanity in all of history? What is my place within that, and how do other people fit into that, and how does our relationship change based off of where we are in all of those places? So these are kind of abstract concepts. I know they're not your favorite. We do tend to struggle with this first chapter a little bit. So please let me know if you have any questions. But ultimately, this is where biography meets history, right? So this is where your individual self kind of careens with society at large and how that affects both society and then you. So that's, where biography meets history. And that's all we have for the first section here. I'll be back to go over information about the history of sociology next.